Welcome back to the Kuriboh Championship Cup, Season 3, Week 7. This week I am going up against Starfeesh, coach of the Bricktown Blue-Eyes, and his draft consists of Altergeist, Generaider, Spellbook, Moment, Sabers, Time Lords, in Christian, and his staples are Pot of Extravagance, Solemn Judgment, Link Kuriboh, and Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. So looking at his draft, and the way he's been playing, he's been bringing Time Lords, Altergeist, and Generators. So I brought decks that I thought would be good against those, as well as mainly decks that can definitely deal with Time Lord shenanigans of not being destroyed. And yeah, so let us get into the battles. Our first match, I decide to lead off with Cyber Dragons, mainly because it is probably my most board wipey deck, which is really good against Generators, as well as Altergeists, as well as Time Lords, because Time Lords are not protected by Kaijus trading with them, so definitely decided to bring my most Kaiju deck first, and he decides to bring Generators, and as you can see in the first game of the match, I open up with 2 Kaiju Slumbers and a Lightning Storm, which is pretty nice. He does go first with this. If I'm remembering correctly, he did win the Rock, Paper, Scissors and decided to go first, which is fine by me, because my Cyber Dragons are going second deck. And yeah, so he goes first, acting his boss stage, getting Lopter out, and then send 2, and then of course my turn, use the boss stage to get out Har, as well as a bunch of tokens. Knowing that he has a Har negate, I decide to open up with Kaiju Slumber, baiting the negate, and then going for Lightning Storm to destroy his spells and traps, and then using my second Kaiju Slumber to give him Jizukuri and the Gamma Seal. Of course, since I am playing Cyber Dragons, I can just take Jizukuri back with a Chimera attack. And yeah, just standard Cyber Dragon combos to get Union Carrier for Galaxy Soldier, and then of course using Overlord Fusion to get another level 5 monster on the field for Nova, so I can bring back my Nash Custer, which effect I haven't used, so I can make regular Cyber Dragon, and then I can use the Nash Custer and Union Cure and Jizuriki for Chimera Tech, and that is enough to take him out in one hit. So I figured, since Cyber Dragon is really powerful going second and not that strong going first, I decide to switch out side deck out of most of my board wipes, but he does still decide to go first, probably fearing me setting up Cyber Dragon, Infinity, and Nova to negate. But that is fine, because I did side in some Galaxy Cyclones to get rid of his boss stage as well as his other face downs, since he does like to play with a lot of Recro, especially with Solemn Judgment. Here, just getting out Nash Custer for my other Cyber Dragon, as well as using normal Summon Core for Fusion, and then Machine Dupe to get 2 other Cyber Dragons to make Nova to return a Cyber Dragon, and then make another Nova to possibly get another one, but he negates it with Forbidden Chalice, which is fine, because then I just use it for Infinity, but he does have that Solemn Judgment to get rid of it, and I make a Seeger with my remaining 2, so that I have at least 3 Cyber Dragons in graveyard for Repair Point. Use Overlord Fusion for Chimera Tech Overdragon. Here I make a mistake. I did not realize Cyber Load Fusion only allowed me to attack with the monster I Fusion Summon with it. I was thinking that I could possibly needed another Cyber Dragon monster on the field, just in case he had something in hand, possibly. I'm not too fully 100% sure what all the generators do, or what he could have planned for me. So I was thinking Twin Dragon, get some extra attacks just in case he somehow negated something. But I could have easily just won there with Chimera Tech over Dragon, attacking his 2 tokens, which is going to come to bite me, as I'm not able to take him out with just over Dragon's attack there. He uses boss stage for boss fight. He attacks, and he creates Utgadar, however you want to pronounce that, and then he uses Utgard's effect to get rid of my over Dragon. And then I don't really have anything on my field to play except for the Cybernetic Overflow in my hand. But even then, I sent most of my Saber Dragons to the graveyard, so I can only pop or banish them. So I can only pop one thing, unfortunately. But yeah, I just draw a Cyclone and I can only pop, and then I'll lose. So I surrender. Going into game 3 of this, I do side back in and I go on second cards, and decide to go second. As you can see, start off with 2 Gamma Seals. That's sort of fine because from my last mistake of bricking with 2, I do slide in a 3rd Gamma Seal into the set. But of course, I draw it, which is totally unlucky, but sort of lucky in the same way because I do have a lot of board wipes in hand. Of course, I get rid of her. So you can't have that negate or her, and he brings it back, and then I get his agree to destroy his Laughter. Don't really have to worry about the tokens because they go away at the end of my turn. He activates World Legacy Monstrosity. He kind of makes a mistake of summoning Heart Earth Dragon because it cannot destroy my Jizuriki in battle. Which is fine because I still have 2 Gamma Seals, so all I have to do is destroy his Gamma Seal in battle so that I can get rid of his Heart Earth with another Gamma Seal in hand. And that is what I do. He creates Heart, but that is fine because that is a negate of some sort, not battle. And yeah, get rid of his Heart Earth with Gamma Seal. And he does not really have anything for 3,300 beat stick. Set a Cosmic Cyclone in case he gets another one of his field spell. Don't really care that too much about his back row. Really just want to make sure that he does not get rid of get his field spell on the field. Because then he just gets a bunch of tokens which he can use for sacrificing for his effects, and of course he uses Cyclone to try and get rid of it, but he negates that. But that is fine. Of course I use Gamma Seal to get rid of Heart, and attack his Laughter so that he does not get the attack boost on any of his things, which is probably the one way he can probably beat over Jizuriki. And of course I draw another Jizuriki. I do have Kaiju Slumber in hand, which is useless because all 3 Gamma Seals have been used, and I've drawn another Kaiju Slumber, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, he doesn't really have anything in his back row to deal with Jizuriki, so he just uses Forbidden Chalice to make sure that the game ends. So won that match 2-1. And yeah, going into game 2, I decide to bring ABC, mainly because I am thinking that now he would bring Time Lords or his Altergeist, and I can set up a board to at least negate anything he could possibly do, or banish stuff that I don't like, which both of those decks don't like. But he does bring Altergeist, but it's more of a Spellbook variant. Most of his deck is Spellbook. I did not know this at the time, but that's fine. I did win Rock Paper Scissors, I think, or maybe I lost this one as well, and I go second. That's fine because he doesn't really get much going. He used Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of his trap. but he just uses it to pop so that he can summon his multi-faker since a trap was activated and get Soliloquist. He makes a mistake of popping my frontline base, which I can just set again, and then proceed to combo off into Union Carrier. Union Carrier will eventually get me Photon Orbital to Galaxy Soldier, and of course I get the 2 draws with the Buster Drake for the other 2 cards, but he negates Photon Orbital, unfortunately, so do not quite go into it yet. He does attack and banish my Union Carrier. Luckily for me, I do have Heavy Mech support armor, so that I can, when I summon it, retrieve B Buster Drake, and I did draw a Galaxy Soldier, so I don't need to get it with Photon Orbital. Summon Platinum Gadget just so that I have more multiple summons. If he does somehow decide to pop something, I can go into my plays. But he doesn't. I do get IP Masquerena, I do get Galaxy Soldier onto the field, multiple Galaxy Soldiers, so that I can make Nova into Infinity, and then I do have the 3 pieces to make Buster Drake, and I do decide to banish the back row because Soliloquist can't do anything by itself. He tries to negate my battle, but luckily I have Infinity to destroy it. And yeah, attack, he's down to 1500, and then of course on his turn I am going to make Crystidia Avermax, but he does decide to surrender with only Spellbook of Eternity on the field, as well as Multi-Faker and Spoofing in his hand, which you can't really do much with. Going into match 2 of this, he does decide to go first again. Acting Extravagance and 3 back row. Luckily I side in Galaxy Cyclone again because at this point I'm thinking Altergeist. Yeah, like their back row, so Galaxy Cyclone is good at destroying that, as well as his continuous trap cards. I do try to crash Sea Wyvern there just so I can get another summon, since I don't start with my field spell or frontline base. But yeah, he just comes off with some spellbook cards. Don't really know exactly what he's doing with it, but he gets Faker out onto the field, as well as Mollusk. I repronounce that with Soliloquist for a bounce. Use, of course, one of my Galaxy Cyclones to get rid of Protocol. Summon Sea Crush and use frontline base, try and crash again for another summon, but he just bounces it back, as well as uses personal spoofing. But luckily for me, he summons another multi-faker, so I can crash for a Assault Court, but he does have Conquery in hand to negate the attack. He gets Spellbook Magician, attacks directly, gets another card, or pops my frontline base, summons Crowley, and yeah, just gets a bunch of draw power, as well as some Altergeist and Spellbook cards in graveyard. Of course, using Galaxy Cyclone to pop his Billsbill, try and pop another one of his back row, but he it's a quick effect spell. Use Mecha Support to get my Sea Crush to try and get the special summon, but he negates that. Use Union Cure here. My mistake here is I probably shouldn't have equipped Photon Orbital. I probably should have equipped a Assault Core so he couldn't use his monster effects, which are the main way of him dealing with my monsters on the field. And I wasn't going to use Photon Orbital's effect to get Galaxy Soldier, because I only have 1 card to sacrifice, which would only net me Galaxy Soldier in defense mode, which isn't really good. And yeah, he just pops with Altergeist Suroki to get Union Carrier back to hand, and my Orbital goes to the graveyard. And yeah, he just sets up a big board. Or just combos off a lot, I guess. With Spellbook of Secrets. And he attacks twice. But doesn't really do much, but he does get a good amount of back row again. Only have that in hand, and of course he negates my attack and my effects. And eventually he just summons a big board in attack mode. And attacks, try to activate Gadget's destruction effect, but of course he has Protocol to negate it, and yeah, I lose this one. Knowing that his deck is really good at going first and setting up a bunch of negates with his back row as well as negating with his front row, I decided to go first with ABC and try and set up a strong board. I, of course, use set rotation to give myself Union Hanger and him Summon Breaker. And of course, Gold Gadget for another Sea Crush. I use in Sea Crush to crash Union Driver. Of course, discarding Union Driver to banish it for another monster that I can summon, since you can't summon the monsters attached with Union Hanger. And of course, using Union Carrier and IP Masquerena for some combos. Union Carrier for Photon Orbital, of course, for Galaxy Soldier. Galaxy Soldier to discard to get another Galaxy Soldier. And of course, create Nova into Infinity. And of course, I have Beat Buster Drake. And on his turn, I will create Crusadia Avermax, which you can't really deal with. Of course, banish his one monster. And yeah, he doesn't really have anything in hand that can break this board, since I still have a negate with Infinity. And he can't really destroy Crusadia Avermax that well. And yeah, so I win this match again 2-1. Going into the third set, I for some reason thought this was Altergeist, so I decided to bring Galaxy, expecting his Time Lords, so that I could possibly banish with Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon's effect to negate their ability of not being able to destroy it. And get around it that way. But of course, this is his actual Altergeist deck, using some Galaxy combos to get a hand that I can actually pop off with, using Galaxy Soldier's effect for Brave, using Brave to get a level 4, and Galaxy Expedition for Galaxy Photon Advances effect, use 4 for Starlog, for some protection, and go beyond into Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. I did this so that I can get some damage on him early, as well as send in a Galaxy Eyes to the graveyard so that I can use Star Liege's effect to bring one back. Trying to set up a board that you can't just wipe. And yeah. Here I make Union Carrier. Didn't think that he would have Torrential Tribute. I was trying to get another Photon Orbital to get a board strong enough to swing for game. And I knew even if he had some way of getting it, I could just create Photon Sanctuary for another Union Carrier, trying to bait some stuff out, and create Photon Orbital for Galaxy Knight, so I can use Galaxy Knight for another Galaxy Photon Dragon. And he pops a Galaxy Eyes to hand, and I create Cypher Dragon into Cypher X Dragon and give myself protection, as well as using Jagubion for number 38. Since he is running Altergeist, I do want to negate a bunch of those spells. Sadly, I cannot swing for game. Because Jagubion only allowed me to attack with Hope Harbinger. But he does summon Blackluster Soldier, and of course I use Hope Harbingers to redirect the attack to it, crashing it, using that for Cypher Dragon's effect, bring it back from the graveyard and XYZ summon it, and I should have at least a strong enough board to bring him low enough to win on my next turn. Right there, I brought Photon Fresher to hand. That was kind of a mistake. Should have brought a monster that I can summon to finish him off right there. But yeah, should not have grabbed Photon Fresher. Kind of misclicked there when I was looking through my deck. But he does not really summon any monsters. And of course, I use Galaxy Cyclone to try and get rid of his backboard. But he does just summon out Siliquise for Multi-Faker and Mollusk, and of course he then uses some Torrential Tribute, which is unfortunate, but I can still summon Photon Thrasher, so it was a good thing that I didn't bring something else, because then I have Follow-Up Phrase with a 2100 attacker. He then summons Siliquise. I summon Photon Vanisher in case he does some combo to get something for Siliquise to bounce, and I was right. I use Galaxy Cyclone to get rid of the trap, to get rid of one of the Siliquise that effect was using, and then I just go for an attack with my Photon Thrasher and win this game. So kind of not a mistake to get Photon Thrasher, but also a mistake. Probably could have swung earlier for game, but it still worked out. Going into game 2 of this match, he decides to go first, so that I cannot create a strong enough board to stop whatever he wants to do. And that's sort of fine. I used Galaxy Brave on Galaxy Photon. Probably should have used it on Photon Orbital, so I could have gone for my level 4 plays. But I do get Galaxy Soldier with Galaxy Expedition, searching for Knight so that I can use 2 Galaxy Soldiers for Nova. But he does use Evacuation Device, which means I can't use Strength because I did create a non-Galaxy Photon monster. That's fine because I was saving it for future plays. I tried to use Galaxy Knight to bring back Galaxy Eyes, but he Solemn Judgment it. He used Galaxy Eyes to bring back Galaxy Eye Photon Dragon for the Galaxy Eyes of the quick effect of discarding Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to target a special monster, but he decides to Santa Claus it, unfortunately. This is fine. Like I said, was saving trance just in case I could not really do anything in the future. Get Galaxy Warrior and Photon Orbital. But he does Torrential Tribute. Which means I have no plays in hands with just Galaxy Eyes and Galaxy Eyes Afterglow. Because I do need a Galaxy on the field to special summon it. Just past here, can't really do anything with Photon Orbital. I think he would just pop, put it back to hand with Siliquise. But probably should have just set it in defense mode just in case. It would use a resource for a turn. Probably could have bought me some time. Do decide to do it the next turn. But yeah, still can't really do anything with just Photon Orbital. Would really like something to equip it to search. But yeah. He just sets up a strong enough board to and bounce my stuff, so I don't have anything. And he has enough to attack 2 enemies, so I surrender. Going into game 3, I get to choose, and I do decide to go first. Of course, using Galaxy Brave, and then Photon Vanisher, since I have a Galaxy Monster Cannon Special Element, and add another Galaxy Eyes. Use Galaxy Expedition for Galaxy Soldier for another search. This time I choose Galaxy Wizard for that level 4 play of Starfeesh so that I can special summon Photon Dragon. And then I use Photon Orbital for Afterglow, and Galaxy Eyes into Cypher Dragon and Cypher X for protection, target protection, as well as a higher protection with this. And yeah, he is using some spellbooks and sets up a bunch of stuff. Here I decide to just go for the attack because he has shown Torrential Tribute, and I don't really want to pop that, and I just want to go for some damage. I do decide to banish here so it doesn't get its destruction effect, and then go for some damage, but of course he does have a way to get more monsters. And yeah, Photon Orbital for another Galaxy Soldier for future plays so that I can use Galaxy Knight no matter what he does. I can sack Galaxy Photon Dragon for Galaxy Soldier and then summon Galaxy Knight to bring it back. And I do still have Galaxy Zero in hand. Use Cypher X Dragon back for Starfeesh, to try and get Galaxy Eyes on the field, which I do. 2 Galaxy Eyes. Of course, Galaxy Knight to try and get back in Galaxy Eyes, but that is not how it works. I create Photon Load to negate the Siliquise effect, which I knew he would use, and then of course Melody of Wakened Dragons. Maybe should have sent Galaxy Zero so I could have Galaxy Soldier's effect. I do bring back Galaxy Soldiers with Galaxy Zero, which is a mistake. I didn't realize that the cannot activate its effects. I thought Galaxy Soldier's special summon effect that allows me to search is not an activated effect. It's like sort of like a passive effect and just happens when it's special summoned, but that is not the case, and I do not get the search I want. I should have brought back a Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon, because even when Galaxy Zero prevents its destruction the first time and it goes to 0 attack, I can then still use Galaxy Eyes' effect to banish it, and when it comes back it will have its attack. So yeah, a mistake there. Bring him down to 100, and let's see if I can finish him off. Use Galaxy Eye Photons to search for Galaxy Trance for follow-up plays, and here I try and go for game, but he does use Manifestation. Try to negate Kuniki with Photon Load, but yeah, he does have another Torrential Tribute and destroys my board. Luckily, Galaxy Soldier is protected, but its attack will go to 0. If this was Galaxy Eyes, I would have been fine. Use Galaxy Trance to get Galaxy Brave as well as Photon Dragon for Hope Harbinger to negate possible spells. But yeah, he gets rid of that as well. And at this point, I don't really have much to go for. Since I do have Galaxy Soldier, I can't get Photon Thrasher. Try and pop some stuff with Galaxy Cyclone. Unfortunately, that does not work. He creates Multi-Pick as well as Siliquise for the bounce. And yeah, I can't really play through any of this. Use Galaxy Cyclone to get rid of this continuous, and then try and pop something with Galaxy Cyclone again. And yeah, summon Photon Thrasher. At this point, I did not realize that the Photon Thrasher special summon was only once per turn, since usually it didn't get bounced to hand or got destroyed, so I would not know that I could special summon as much times as I wanted, as long as no card monsters were on the field. A Galaxy Cyclone to get rid of, and then Photon Sanctuary to get some tokens for Galaxy Solar Flare Dragon to try and get return some material. And sadly, he just keeps on returning Photon Pressure. I was told by my opponent that I can special summon this multiple times per turn, and that's what I do here. Could have saved me, though, if I knew that I turn earlier, as he will just return my monster back to hand and then swing for game. At this point, I just surrender because I know I have lost. So I lost that one 1-2, but that still means I win this week, but only with a differential of 1. And yeah, next week for week 8, I am going up against Leo, coach of the New York Gym Knights. And he is currently rank 1 in my division, so that is going to be a tough matchup. So catch you for that. Goodbye.